is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light. Why? Because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. Yes. Neither cometh to the light. That's right. Lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. You hear this one? I tell you, you're only gonna be on this earth to be able to save yourself one time. You hear this? If you don't save yourself within that time, you won't have a chance to do it anymore. Save yourself while you still can. I can't tell you when God gonna take the church, but if he takes it before you save yourself, you can't anymore. If you die, you can't anymore. Save yourself before it's too late. All right, until next time, world. One, one, one. One, one. Listening to Church of the Lord Jesus Christ with Bishop Allen. You may hear him live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. here, where the Master reigns, Gospel 800, WTMR, Camden, Philadelphia. Yeah. It's not the first one. That's not the first one. That's not the first one. No. After the. Yeah. Yes. And now, our feature presentation. Let's go here and say to Muhammad, what have you done for self-preservation? Have you been taking to yourself? For near 4 years, I, Muhammad, has been trying and preaching to you to do something for self. I spent years into prison for this preaching. I spent years and years under the teaching the guidance of my God and your God, Allah. Seeking a way out for you after he had shown me a way out. The self I have been preaching and trying to show you a way out for yourself. I have spent many dreadful days. I have been out in the prison houses. I have been like everything that I thought was good for you. I suffered prison sentences. I suffered starvation from my family and from my brothers and sisters for 7 long years. And to walk out of the prison house and spend other years trying to get you and me to unite with each other and do something for something. Let's get tired of war and desolation is just turning behind the wall. You have not given to me yet an answer. I said my same satisfaction to me, I call you my friend, because I can. What do you say today? I'm not your family. Mr. Muhammad, I'm your enemy. I know tomorrow you are got to be my friend. When you see what I see and learn what I have learned, no man will stick his hand in the fire if he knows I have believed. Greetings. I'm your Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. Welcome to another edition of Muhammad Speaks Radio, where once again I am your host, your Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. But I must open in this steed in the most holy name of Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. We forever thank Almighty God, Allah, for coming and in raising in our midst a divine leader, teaching guide, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, from whom you just heard on that short clip. And it is in their great names that I greet you with the greetings of peace. We say it in Arabic, Assalamu alaikum, which simply means peace be unto you. Welcome again to another edition of Muhammad Speaks Radio. Once again, I am your Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. I am your host this evening. And in a few short minutes, I have a wonderful guest who is no stranger to Muhammad Speaks Radio. This brother is a renowned scholar, a renowned author. He's a professor. He's a former FBI agent. He knows a lot. He does a lot in this country as far as working on behalf
of our people and all people who are deprived of freedom, justice, and equality. He is your friend and my friend, Dr. Tyrone Powers, who we hear from in just a few short moments. But let me take the opportunity to say greetings to everyone again, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful members of Muhammad's Temple of Islam, number 20, here in Camden, New Jersey. We located at 1157 Haddon Avenue in Camden, New Jersey. Uh, Been there for going on maybe 16 years, maybe 17 years now. And I am so very humbled to represent that beautiful body of brothers and sisters here in the city of Camden who's striving hard in the way of freedom, justice, and equality. Looking forward to serve our peoples, to serve our community, and of course, the most important thing, upholding the life giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that never ever again will his teachings be buried and people in a generation that we've seen that is almost going to hell, a generation that we see that is confused, a generation that we see that is just, in a position that they're lacking the information, the scholarship, the history, the reminding of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's impact in the nation of Islam. They see little murmurs of it around, but with all what we call the wokeism or the black conscious movement or people talking differently and, having heart and strength to say things now that social media is around, well, we're going right to the source where the one who made the most impact, where they got the the fortitude to know how to roar like a lion when our people before them was roaring like a cat. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I say, and make a distinction and a difference with him, because he did 44 years among us here as the messenger of Allah, going through trials and tribulations and overcoming right in the face and creating and making and doing miracles with black people that we have not seen the like of today. As no one has come close to the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. No one has come close to the impact that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has made on all black people and changed the culture. And if people who have come close and making an impact of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they was either taught by him, they were either one of his students, or they are mimicking his teachings. And you see the likeness of what he brought to his students, the likeness of what he brought to North America in and around the country. You name them, whether they on social media, whether they in your neighborhood, whether they impacting in the classroom, you name them. There's remnants of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his work, his raising up of his students, his Muhammad Speaks newspaper that he spread all over the black community that enlightened the black, the brown, the yellow, the red, and including the white man. He enlightened all of them with his divine wisdom and teachings. And that's why never again will we ever allow anyone to ever again bury his wisdom as it was in 1975. Had he not did what he did in bringing Islam to these shores, that it was Islam was a misnomer. It was not here. It wasn't it wasn't talked about. It was very very little known. It was strange, especially in the black community. But it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the work that he did that impacted the community. And now today, that people can stand up, and only in our community that we really don't give the respect and the honor due to those who laid the foundation for us to be whatever it is that we're being when it comes to black consciousness or being a Muslim here in North America. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his students that suffered in the prisons to open up doors for today you to practice Juma in prisons, for you to get your religious rights, to not to eat the swine, for them to respect your religious rights beyond in the penal system, in the federal penal systems. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and others, the pioneers, that helped to change the laws and helped to impact our communities and help to even the ground or soften the ground for Islam to be accepted to even our what we call the foreign Muslim community that comes from Arab nations and beyond in Asia and Africa. It was the impact of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, my dear brothers and sisters, that made it possible for you to be accepted here in this country. That was the work. And it wasn't a all smiling and roses work. It was work of being people being shot and murdered and killed and those being persecuted. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad went to prison as a result of sharing Islam with his people and taking a stance. And because if you don't know, now you do know. The very first propaganda against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam was that we were communists and working with communist government. And then it later shifted into the racial epithets or racial context of what we were, the black, quote unquote, the black Muslims. We didn't say that, but of course, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad let you know and let the world know that we were black, that you was no longer a Negro, you were no longer colored, you were no longer, and well, today we saying you're not really an African American. You taking that title, but you just as lost as you was before you a time you was a Negro, because now you like it so much you don't want to be just named after Europeans. You want to be named after two Europeans. You want to be named after Amerigo Vespucci and Leo Africanos, who was the Spanish conquerors who conquered the islands, who conquered the countries there in Africa, and they renamed it after the conquering of that leader at that time. And I believe that's the name. And if I do, I will correct myself. Look in the comments. That's where we correct ourselves at. But once again, brothers and sisters, I am your brother, Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. If you would like to call in this evening to give us a call, although we have a guest, we've got a lot of interesting comments, commentary, a lot of interesting current events that has happened from the NFL draft. And I just want to quickly say I want to congratulate my my family member for getting drafted to the New Orleans Saints here from Camden owned Camden Strong, Fidel Diggs, and very proud of him. And I know my uncle, who was his grandfather, Uncle Lawrence Miles, would be smiling today and as happy as he can be over the accomplishments of his grandson, whom he raised both of his grandsons, helped to raise both of his grandsons, who was around him all the time. He was one of those grandfathers. So we are all very excited and happy in our family, and we're looking forward to him to do some great things. Heard you had a great workout, my dear brother, with my son Halim today, and keep working. We want you to keep working. He got a great potential along with my son YC, and we're looking forward for some great things to them on and off the field. As they are fine gentlemen and working hard in the classroom, working hard in and around Camden community, helping to make their impact and to be an example to young men that they're around, and lighting their eyes and shining wherever they go at, and representing the name of Muhammad, being the person who is worthy of praise. Once again, brothers and sisters, we're going to take a quick break. We have a guest. There's a lot to talk about, from the NFL draft to the people are talking, and to me it's interesting about Shannon Sharp, the former NFL football player, and who's also then seems like he's being targeted from individuals, as we've seen what happened here at 2024 with myself. And then we also have to stop real quick and talk about, before I take the break, once again, we want you to support Vic's pick. Mayor Vic Karstoffen is running for his re-election this year, dear brothers and sisters. And we want you to pick Mayor Vic Karstoffen and give him another opportunity to get it right again, 4 more years, along with his team of council that we are very excited for, which is incumbent Angel Fuentes, who is currently the president of Camden City Council, and our dear sister, Sister Noemi Sorio Perez, who is current incumbent on council, doing a wonderful job. The first Mexican American elected to office here in Camden. She's a wonderful and bright sister, alumni of Lincoln University. She spoke here at the University of Islam at our graduation ceremony several years back as our daughter's sister Wasia was graduating and attending Lincoln University, whom she's shout out to her for making the dean's list again. And also a quick shout out to my daughter Lanai. She's going to be a graduate this coming several weeks here in May at Rowan University, who's been doing a wonderful job and who's also a professional working in the profession of her graduating from and having the fortunate opportunity to work in the field that she, to receive a degree in, which is odd and different today. And then I also have a daughter, Sister Hasana Muhammad, who's at North Carolina A&T, who's a freshman this year, studying to be an engineer. And I'm just excited, and just been excited as all the students from the University of Islam who have graduated and went on and doing some wonderful things, making an impact here in our community. Brother Hadar, Sister Tajane, Brother Kadir, Brother Hafiz, Brother Safdar, who was recently a college graduate. We got to get on this show because he's home now and he's a college graduate, graduated from the University of Harrisburg there in Pennsylvania, and we're excited about him. And that's due to the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the impact that he made on us, and that we pulled our resources and made sure we pulled our resources and made sure that our young people will get the best education that they need morally, physically, and spiritually in order to succeed in this country, in this world, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. But we got a lot to talk about this evening. And I know my dear brother, Dr. Tyrone Powers, is waiting patiently, and we know he's an expert in many of the things that he's talking about. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
There is nothing like a warm summer's day. The sun is shining and a soft wind serenade. We can walk in the park, make love after dark, love in the nighttime. I like the warm weather, feels so mellow, like a natural high. I've got to get outdoors. It's too nice to be inside. We can ride to the beach, oh, just you and me. Hey, said we're just gonna take it easy. Oh, yeah.
Do you not see how dumb we are? We are pretty ignorant. And this big old wide USA. And every corner we look in, or every square foot, we find the enemy against us. And yet we won't build up a hospital so that we can take care of our own selves. Try and do these things, or wait around and it'll be too late. And then you will cry, oh, woe is me, that I let such opportunity that Elijah Muhammad was teaching me to take hold of and I fooled around and didn't do nothing but depend on the white man. Build up something for ourselves. And then the nations of the earth will recognize you as they are recognized themselves for doing for self. No need to say you don't have a chance. Oh, yes. We the change, brother. And come on out of it. We don't have nothing that's binding us that we cannot destroy and free ourselves. I want you to remember this. You are a little too happy to do temporary things. We don't want no temporary here. We want permanent. The professional people that I see written down here, we can take.
And assalamu alaikum, and dear brothers and sisters, it's always great to transition with the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We try to play him so we can give you an idea that you can hear directly from him. Why we do what we do and what we teach, and you can hear from yourself the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Weigh them, examine them, and understand them, and take a look at them, and you can see for yourself that why it's necessary in our community for you to know of him, know about him, and not only just know his accomplishments, because it was the wisdom, the divine wisdom, the supreme wisdom that he received from Almighty God, Allah, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, that made him accomplish what he accomplished in those 44 years. That is like the accomplishments of none other. And we haven't seen none other. And we know that we can get out here and accomplish. And we know we can get out here and do it. But to be a student, and when the master or the teacher is no longer present, is a hell of a thing. And that's why I can commend those who have attempted and tried to do their best. And we appreciate their presence and their guidance. But there's nothing like direct guidance from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, straight and direct to yourself. My dear brothers and sisters, I know there's a lot to talk about this upcoming week and this past week that we had, but I can think of none other who would be much qualified to have these kind of discussions and conversation than my friend and your friend, straight out of the city of Baltimore, Maryland, and that's this his place of birth, and where he resides in that area. But let me tell you, this brother is national and international in scope. What he has done, his robust history, is what he do every day, and professor at Bowie State University, and just renowned scholar, and his book that he wrote in the I believe it was the 90s. It might have been the late 80s, but he's just been impacting his community and the work that he's doing. My brother and your friend, Dr. Tyrone Powers. Dr. Powers, assalamu alaikum.
Good to be with you.
Oh, brother, thank you, brother. And I want to first thank you for the opportunity, brother, to prick your brain and prick you, and have this live you on a conversation with you where there's so much going on. So, I know it's from the Shannon Sharp controversy into the election, but I want to say before I go any further, as I was talking about the local elections here in Camden, I did not quite, but maybe I wanted to do it. I'm just, making an excuse for not doing it, but to talk about our Sister Nora Muhammad, who is also on the ballot this year, along with Mayor Karstoffin's Vic Picks ballot, who is also on the ballot as a city council person, and who's, I can think of a better qualified individual, sister, a woman, to be qualified to get in it as a servant leader and to lead our community. But Dr. Tyrone Powers, welcome, my dear brother.
Thank you, and I'm wishing Sister Noah well. She's clearly brilliant and have a heart as a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and have a heart for our people, as you know from history. And I teach my students this, even when we were having during the times of slavery in the island of St. John, there was slave rebellions, but not all of the slaves participated. And when we went back to study and research that history, it's because the small group of slaves that were rebelling had been former kings and princes in Africa, and they were rebelling to take the place of the white enslavers, but they were going to keep slavery in place. So they were going to keep blacks as slaves. So they weren't rebelling against slavery. They were rebelling against the fact that whites were running slavery. And so from that time, there's a lot of lessons in that. So when we had someone like Sister Nora and the other leaders who are actually trying to take positions of influence and power so that they can help all of the community with a revolutionary mindset, with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with the heart of our people, not doing this for any applause or any awards or to go to any ceremonies or to dress up, but doing this so that they can make things better for our children and our children's children and our seniors and everyone else. We've got to support that because not every person of color who runs for a position of power is doing it for the people, even though we sometimes support them because of their color. They're not doing it for the people, they're doing it for themselves. And then we have a sister now who is, um, we know for a fact that is doing this not for any time of self-aggrandizement, any pat on the back, any awards or ceremonies or applause, but doing it because of the teachings and what she has been taught and what she is at heart. So I'm hoping that when we have people like her and the mayor's rerunning, when we have people like that running, we really see the significance and importance of electing people with a heart for the people and are doing it for all the right reasons.
Yes, sir. And I find, and I know it's just as, the politics are the same in most of our community, Dr. Powers, and very well said, because you have a lot of people whose ambition, who want to use politics to, as a stepping stone to do something instead of being a servant leader. And then you also have people, as we have here, that, are a little angry because they didn't get picked for the basketball game. So they want to take the ball and they want to take the ball and run home and don't want nobody else to play because they didn't get picked because it's their ball. And we all, and you come from another basketball city there in Baltimore with Dunbar High School and that great basketball program that rivaled us here in Camden. So I'm pretty sure you know that. And it's just, and that should say a little bit something about someone's leadership. And I often, when I think about that, Dr. Tyrone Powers, I think about when you would talk about when you were with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, one of your very first professions when you came out of high school or college. And you talked about how they would study our mind, our behaviors, and certain behaviors they knew that we had as a people, and they knew how to deal with us. And, that behavior, what did that tell us about a person when they, because they are upset to run on a platform that I'm upset at something, I don't like the program. I don't like the machine, I don't like that I didn't get picked. What does that say about a person's leadership qualities? Do that make us doubt their sincerity, or do they really want to lead, or are they just playing so they get because they didn't get their ball and they being vindictive, or what is that called?
Well, you're right. So during the time, and I've talked about this on numerous occasions, and I actually testified to it before Congress at the and when Congresswoman Maxine Waters brought me up to speak to people in Congress about this, the psychological profile unit. Their philosophy was that people of color, black people at that time, this is their profile. Doesn't mean it's true, but this is what they put on paper. That we were emotional and not intellectual. So emotional people, if I can't get what I want, or if I'm angry, then I lead with my emotions, and I be damn everything else. The children, the children's children, how this can burst worse for others um, because and they know how to manipulate that. So once they find that we have that what I call a petty gene in us, then they massage and manipulate that, and the even rather than us saying, even if I can't have it, I want the best for this community. I know the person who is going for the position is going to be good for our community. I think I would be good for the community, but even if I can't have it, it's not for me to be destructive. It's for me to be supportive, because the ultimate goal is not for me personally. It's not for enriching me economically or financially or making me more popular, like I'm a new set of clothing. The ultimate goal is for the people. And if this particular person, even if I don't get it, if this particular person are going to make things better for our children and our children's children and our community, and I know they're sincere and I know they're honest, then I'm going to support that. I'm going to support that. It doesn't take anything from me for me to support you. But the agencies understand, and they always, and it's even more so now, Brother Minister, because we're in this age of these reality television shows, and they excite people based on emotion. The logic and the dialogue and the conversations make no sense whatsoever, but it's based solely on emotion. And people who are not even on the shows as actor and actresses are watching those shows, so it becomes more impactful upon them, and that's how they act in real life. And then we forget the whole the greater purpose, or the purpose for which we are supposed to be achieving these positions. So if I don't get a particular position, but the other person getting the position is a person that will make things better for our entire community and our children and children, then I've got to support that. And if I don't support that, then I'm actually being a part of the problem rather than a part of the solution. We have to be very careful about how that manipulation takes place, because here's the other thing that I know for a fact. Historically, if in fact you are not that person and you take a step back, your reward is coming.
Go
Trust
ahead.
me. Because of your humbleness, because of your desire to be righteous and just, this may not be your time, but your time is coming. But on the other hand, if your reaction is to become vindictive and evil and angry and destructive, not only destructive outwardly, but that will eventually lead to your self destruction, then not only do you work to end the career of somebody else, or the opportunity of someone else, you're actually being self destructive to yourself, even if you can't see it. The math is already the same. Always the math is the same.
Go ahead.
Current decisions impact future conditions. So if you're making an emotional decision to hurt this person, you may very well be hurting yourself, because the math, that the way it's calculated mathematically, whatever mathematical or decision I make today is going to impact me in the future.
Yes,
So at
sir.
the very least, do it from a very logical standpoint that this is the right thing to do and my time is coming.
Yes, sir. And brother, Dr. Tyrone Powers, that is, so well stated, and that's why we as teachers and preachers, and what we do in the classroom, what we do at the mosque, temples, or churches, should do much to impact our people, so that our people can be informed. Informed voters. As I talked about before, I remember in the 90s when they were talking about the dumbing down of America. They were dumbing the people down with those reality TV shows and those things, and programming that we weren't quite used to in our community. Beyond the fact that those black exploitation movies of the 70s, when I was a child, when they was trying to destroy our moral fabric in the black community, that many of us are, being challenged with today, and I myself was included with those kind of challenges. We talked about Shannon Sharp, but we have to work hard to make sure that we get our people informed about the political apparatus of this country, and what the propaganda machine is all about. What should we be looking for as voters? What some of the informed things we should also be looking for? And our people seem like, brother, they'll take $1, and this generation will take $1 and have no shame about it, at least in prior times, people would take a dollar to be a disruptor or agent provocateur, but these agent provocateurs and disruptors today are loud with it and proud with it because the people have been so dumbed down for what it is to be, conscious or black or intelligent, and so that now the culture that we've seen in the hip hop culture, the culture that we've seen in the street culture. Now it's slipping in, allowing it to slip into politics, where we do the kind of politics where we just run around looking for people and looking for dirt on them so that we can rap about them or talk against them and do all these things about them and against them. And it's just getting downright out the further dumbing down of our people, and that they can't make those informed decisions of things, of knowing the quality of a leadership that you talk about, things that they study about us. And that's very impactful, my dear brother.
Yeah, the messenger made it clear that if you do this thing right, even if you don't win today, you will have friends in all walks of life. If you do this thing right, if you do it wrong, then you will forever reap the consequences and repercussions from doing it wrong. If you betray others, if you exploit others, if you fan the fires of discord through propaganda and misinformation and gossip and innuendo, then those things will come back to haunt you as well as hunt our community. And the agency in which I work, the number one thing was propaganda. You got to remember, J. Edgar Hoover said during the 1920s, when he took over the FBI, and he actually took over the FBI in the 1920s and didn't relinquish that position until he was found dead when the floor in his home in the 1970s. And stayed in that position that entire time. But his philosophy was, and he wrote this down, that it is not the objective of the FBI to assassinate or kill leaders. He said it's the objective is to turn them against each other, because then I can use them long term. If I assassinate an individual, then I can't use him anymore. But if I turn him against others, then I can impact, taint, negatively affect generations. Rather than affecting these two people, I can affect generations and communities. I can have the whole community in an uproar if I can just get into their head and turn them against each other. And they were very effective about with this. I've often said, and I've said on this particular program and other programs, that COINTELPRO operation, that counterintelligence operation, where the goal was to prevent unity, to turn us against each other, was very effective and impactful. I hate even to give them kudos for it working, but the reason
Yes, sir.
it was so impactful is that it continued to work even till today. The students I teach, I consistently kind of explain this to. There was a extraordinary author who traveled to Ghana, and she said when she got to Ghana, she went to visit the castle there, which was the slave cave. And as she was walking up towards the slave cave, one of the individuals from Africa came up to her and said, "Ma'am, Miss Negress, Miss he said, Negress, nigger." He said, "How do I call you?" And she said, "Why would you call me that at all?" He said, "Because all the music we hear from you, we ain't talking about the white people. We ain't heard them call you Nick. All the music we hear from you, all the conversation we hear from you, from your rappers, we don't even understand the language of all the rappers, but we do hear the word nigga a lot. So we just think that's what we need to call you." A friend of mine just went to Tanzania. He said the same thing happened to him there. And the people said, no offense, but it's in your music. Your children are calling each other this. You are calling each other this. This is so the rest of the world, whether they understand all the language or not, see the division in us and duplicate it. And so when they see that division in a city like Camden, then that is duplicated. See, the impact is not just between two individuals. The impact is not just between you and the 10 or 15 or even 100 people around you. The impact, when you do that, is international. People see that division and that the willingness to tear each other down rather than to support each other, and the innuendo and the jealousy and the ability to hand those who oppose us a weapon of mass disruption.
Go ahead,
They're
brother.
watching us hand them and then they that's duplicated. And then we train our children with that same kind of behavior. So I have to teach that to my students on a regular basis. I teach COINTELPRO not just from a historical standpoint, because there's the beauty of knowledge and then there's the burden of knowledge. A lot of us get caught up in the beauty of knowledge. We want to cite the date. This is when somebody was born. This is when they died. This is when they had this march. This is when, but the burden of knowledge is what you're going to do with it. You talk when you started the program tonight, and now it's not a show; it's a program. A show is what other people are doing. This is a program because we're trying to program people's mind differently for the benefit
Go
of the
ahead.
people.
Go
So
ahead.
when you started the program tonight, you were talking about the impact in the numbers, the production of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not theoretical, philosophical, not abstract, not just the beauty of knowledge. I don't want you just to remember the messenger for the fact that we call him the messenger. Let me walk you through what he did, how he changed the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. Because we always talk about, well, the messenger got people off of drugs. Well, he got people off of the physical drug and the psychological drug
Go
of
ahead.
not believing in something kind.
Come
He
on.
got us off the physical drug and the psychological drugs of not turning against each other. The physical and psychological drugs are not allowing people to feed us information so that we can turn information that people don't even understand. And so that we can turn on each other and they can point us out and say, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is self-fulfilling prophecy. So it wasn't what just the messenger said. It's that you can come on this program and anyone else and the members of Crow can come before the people and say, let me just tell you what actually occurred. Let me tell you how lives was changed. Let me tell you how the messenger creates a brother Munir Muhammad who connects Minister Wasim Muhammad with Dr. Powers and with people in Atlanta and New Jersey and around the world who didn't even know each other.
Go
With
ahead.
Rita Gale over in London and connect them. Let me not just tell you, these people don't talk about each other behind their back.
Come on.
They don't go about the business of trying to break each other down. If Minister Wasim Muhammad achieves something, I'm happy for it. I don't
Go
want
ahead.
what he wants because I want something good for my brother because I know if my brother gets something good, I won't get something good.
Go
It may not be
ahead.
today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's coming. That's what the messenger did. He has me on your program now, have me coming to Camden, have me going to Chicago, have me teaching those students at Bowie and walking them through it because I don't blame the young people because we hadn't concretely walked them through it. We do a lot of preaching, but not a lot of teaching. And if
Go ahead.
preaching actually worked, we would have that at our universities. But we don't have preachers at universities. We have professors and teachers. We don't get up in a chemistry class and do a sermon. We get up in a chemistry class and do a lesson.
Go
That's what the
ahead.
messenger was. And people look at the messenger and say, well, he's just talking us through it. He's teaching you. He even said that in one of his interviews with Cup. He said, I'm trying to teach the people. He didn't say I'm trying to preach to the people. I'm trying to yell at the people. I'm trying to scream at people. He said to Cup, he said, I know that's how Martin Luther King and them feel. He said, but I ain't mad with them. I'm trying to teach them. And that's what this message does. It keeps us from turning on each other. Nobody can say to me something about Brother Wasim Muhammad and have me go out, duplicate it, gossip about it, talk about it, turn on my brother. If I ever have a conversation to have a discussion with that, I'm having it with Minister Wasim Muhammad.
Go
Because
ahead.
that's what the messenger taught.
Go ahead.
Don't destroy each other. And others are very good at that. And I'm telling you, not just the history of COINTELPRO, but COINTELPRO today, they're good at dividing us. They can take even a positive, people see as a positive rapper like Kendrick Lamar and have him doing a halftime show about good. But all the problems we got genocide in Palestine,
Come on.
wars and killings and food and starvation in the Congo. We got gang violence in Haiti where you can't even land a plane because they shoot at the planes when they come out of the air. And what we are engaged in is two very talented individuals turned against each other by the same system that would have people turn against human cancer. By the same
Go
philosophy,
ahead.
thought process, and teaching. So that's why it's so extremely important for us to walk our children through this, not condemn them, But as I do it, my students, I took my students, we have this historically black college and university thing going on, but in the colleges, one HBCU think they're better than HBCU. But last year, week, I took my students from Bowie over to Howard for an event at Howard. And now the students at Howard are going to Morgan because I'm uniting all of them. I'm saying, look, you got a common purpose, despite the sororities and the fraternities and the sororities doing step shows and battling
Mhm.
against each other to see who can do the best move. I'm trying to tell you, they will support that. What in the hazing and beating up your brother to beat up your city organization? I don't mind discipline if he does something wrong. But I'm just
Good.
gonna beat you and kill you for the sake of beating you, so that you can belong to something positive, and somehow that's supposed to be a positive organization. So that kind of unity to demonstrate it. And what has me demonstrating that, brother minister, is what brother Manir did. He would, like I said, he would call me every week and he'd say, Doc, if you ain't dead, I expect you dead.
Yes, brother,
You
but
ain't gotta
that.
worry about me keeping you. You ain't gotta worry about me keeping you in the room alone time. I ain't trying to date you. We ain't gonna have no gossip session. But there's only a few of us left.
Go
And if
ahead.
we're going to change the condition and the situation of our people, we have to communicate between each other.
Go ahead.
We have to at least check up on each other. I can't say a minister Wasim, brother minister Wasim Muhammad's friend, and I don't even know whether he got a cold or COVID. Because I didn't even check on him to see what's he
Yes,
like.
sir. Teach the truth, brother.
And
Go ahead.
I can't see him under attack and not consistently try to reach out to him or try to make sure he knows I'm there for him or know that no matter what I see or read, it ain't gonna matter. I'm not moved by that.
Come on.
That's somebody out putting out propaganda. I'm not moved by any. You don't owe me an explanation. I know who you are. You don't
Yes,
owe
sir.
me an explanation. I know, and I know what that is. But it can have such a negative impact if we don't teach the young people and the grown people. We got to walk them through it. As my grandmother used to say, put it down where the ghost can get it. And they keep saying, she said, because there's some grown people who have been educated
Go
who,
ahead.
who can still be misinformed. And she told me, don't ever come to the conclusion that because you become old, you become wiser. She said some people become elders and some people just grow old.
Go
And
ahead.
there's a difference.
Come
You know what I
on.
mean? Not all old people are wise because of your regular age. And she made it clear that because you're old, that doesn't make you an elder. Sometimes you're just old and you grumpy and you're angry and you're ignorant and you pass that on to others and
Go
you
ahead.
divide the community.
Go ahead, brother. Brother, and my dear brothers and sisters, you are listening to Dr. Tyrone Powers, a renowned scholar and author there at Bowie State University, a professor at Bowie State University, who is a profound leader in our community who's been working for decades on behalf of our people. And as you can hear, this message and what's funny about it, Dr. Powers, is the fact that we can all relate to things in our cities because it seemed like it's when these trial runs come for our people, it goes on everywhere. It goes everywhere we see it goes on. It is not just in Camden. We see it in Baltimore. We see it in Philly. We see it in Newark. We see it in uh, we see it in New York. We see it everywhere. As the playbook don't stop. They work together, as the messenger said, in a collective manner. We should do the same, and
Yes, sir.
we just tear each other down. So you're talking so much there, truth there, brother. So what are your sentiments? Dr. Powers, on this weekend on the NFL draft when it comes to people talking about Deion Sanders and his son. Do you think that he was helpful or harmful to his son?
Well, here's the thing. You're helpful if we control the NFL, but we gotta remember, I think
Go
the
ahead.
message just said declare sport and play. Because you can participate and you should strategically gain whatever financial resources you can for that so you can take care of your family, your community. And if you have some special athletic skills, you talk about the relative of yours who went to the New Orleans Saints. I hope he does tremendously well because sometimes finance, you don't use finance just so you can buy gold chains, so you can buy freedom, so you can do some other things for some other people
Yes,
and
sir.
say some things you want to say. So strategically, there's no doubt about it. The NFL decided a long time ago they ain't having another Calvin Kaepernick. They're not having that kind of boldness and that outspoken person. And whether it's the father or the son, the balls, their father gone where you don't even know he alive anymore. Hell, he used to be on every TV show. They decided they're not having that anymore. and that they will come together with their billions to send a message if they have to. And I think that's exactly what they did. So strategically, there's nothing wrong with Deion Sanders being out there for his son, but it's not a very good strategic decision because he understands the power structure and the corporate structure too. Even in the college system, there's other people who own that. We just got to manipulate it like they manipulate us. And sometimes the best strategy is to say less until you can do more.
Come on.
See, there's the old saying that said, when all is said and done, more is said than done. We got to flip that. You know, when all is said and done, more is done than said.
Go
So
ahead.
strategically, put your son in the best position to succeed because you know they're going to come for him because the garments of confidence have always looked like the attire of arrogance when black people wear it. So it doesn't matter how confident we are, they're going to call it arrogance. So you can say, hey, look, you know, but I ain't bowed down. But no, strategically, get yourself in a position of power. You don't take a hill by running straight up the hill. You can't, you know, as they used to tell us in the FBI Academy, you don't wear desert fatigues in the jungle. You don't wear jungle fatigues in the desert. You wear the fatigues to fit in when you get to the top of the hill, then you plant your flag. You
Go
don't run
ahead.
up the hill with fatigues that clearly lights you up and sets you out because you ain't never going to get to the top of the hill. So there's some strategy that we have to learn when we are on the playing field of others. People, it's not bowing down or being quiet. It's saying let me do this, and then there's some sequential order to things. As the messenger said, there's some order and some
Go
logic and
ahead.
discipline.
Go ahead.
You just can't come into the mosque with blue jeans and sags. There's some order you got to come in with. There's a strategy to this thing. But people are watching. I remember the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said one time, he said, you don't think I like to wear a sweatsuit? But the people got to see some order.
That's
So we
right.
out of order. They
Come
got to
on.
see some discipline. They got to see, you know what, I like to dress down. I like to wear some sneakers too. But that would put the people who are already out of order further out of order. So
Yes,
there's
sir.
a strategy and a discipline because people are watching. And as you know, and I know, with young men, especially young men, are visual and not and they visual first. They do learn through other methods, but they're visual first. So if brother minister Rasim Muhammad is coming to the mosque every week in a Nike sweatsuit and some colorful sneakers, that's they seeing you as a hip hopper, not a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Come on.
And so everything has to be put in order. So with this Deion Sanders thing, the order of things, the order. Shannon Sharp, for example, was a teammate of my brother. You know, my brother played in the NFL with
Yes.
Shannon Sharp. The Denver Broncos went to the Super Bowl. He said Shannon Sharp. Um, they've always had conversations, and Shannon Sharp has always had a propensity towards a certain kind of female that didn't look like us. And
Yes,
he
sir.
said they've had that conversation with him over and over again because it's not we're not trying to tell you who to date or when to date. We're telling you we're in America, man. We say this very clearly. And that ain't strategic,
Yes,
that's
sir.
outrageous.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
That ain't strategic. So let's not I don't want to get into people to judge people about their personal choices, but I'm gonna say that we're in America and we gotta be strategic as a know where you are.
Yes, sir.
Know thyself.
Come on.
Know where you are. And then your process has to be along with that. Anytime
Yes, sir.
you are going to try to do good for your people, and you can bear witness to this, they're going to come for you.
Go ahead.
Now, if you're not strong enough, you're gonna melt down. If you're strong enough, you're gonna say, "Look, man, I knew you were coming. I'm just surprised it took you so long.
That's
Oh, well, I
correct.
expect you to be here 2 years ago. I knew you were coming.
Come
I
on.
didn't necessarily know who you were gonna use. I know it was gonna be somebody close to me or somebody who know me because that's the way you come. You come." In disguise, even biblically, you say you was a snake in the Garden of Eden.
Come
You
on.
ain't walking up to me
Come on.
straight up and down like you are. You always gonna come in disguise. I knew you were coming,
Come
and
on.
I'm built for this. I'd rather not go through it. I hate to go through it. I hate my family to go through it. But trust and believe this. I'm a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so I'm built for this.
Come on. Dr. Tyrone.
And
Go ahead, brother. Keep
That's
going.
the strategy that we have to put in place with Shannon Sharp or with Deion Sanders. It's a strategy. Nobody's asking you to bow down. We're saying everything, BB King used to have a song that said, never make your move too soon. He didn't say don't make a move. He said never make your move too soon.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a song about strategy, not necessarily telling you what to do, what not to do. I'm going to direct your life. He said, well, let me tell you something about some timing. Never make your move too soon.
Yes, sir. Once again, my dear brothers and sisters, this is Dr. Tyrone Powers. I'm your brother, Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. I know you enjoying this show. There's a lot of information that we're sharing in this particular show and sharing it with you as we are and have been taught to get pass on information and inspiration, not to tear down, not to towel down to our enemies' desires of beating each other down. These words can inspire you, and these words can inform you of what to look for, and in leadership, and what we should be looking for in our people, and whether someone is ready to lead or not, and how they're going to lead. And if you're ready to lead, as Dr. Powell said, that hey, you got to be waiting for them to come at you, and then if they ain't coming at you, then you must be somehow, fortunate enough that to be that fortunate, or you might just be working on that team. You know what I'm saying? So we know how it goes, how the ball game goes, but we keep sending the best players, as Brother Manir would say, Dr. Powers. We keep putting the best team on the floor, so that on the court, so that we can continue to move forward. I think I was talking to a young brother the other day, and I was in a barber shop, and it's the same dissenters and those people who are agent provocateurs that's looking to provoke things and provoke people to anger and provoke people to gossip and slander. He was saying how we gotta hold our leaders accountable, and just like they want to tell the story of Mao Zedong and what they did in their revolutions, but they don't see it in its context because they're getting it on the streets from people who are paid provocateurs or just ignorant provocateurs to pass on misinformation and to confuse our people, as you said earlier, Dr. Powers, about order. And this is what the temple structure, the mosque structure, and the group structure and group operations and activities will help to have our people to have order, because it's something that's consistent. If you are part of a movement that is consistent, then that's telling us something about your characteristics, that you're able to withstand time, that you're able to get along in order with a team, that you're able to just overcome and overcome your tiredness, overcome your own personal challenges, but yet keeping the movements going. All of these things tell us a lot about your character, and that's why since we've have been absent in the church, absent in the mosque, and have become ritualistic in the church and ritualistic in the mosque, then our people are not getting the adequate information, Dr. Powers, that they need so they can make informative decisions. So the brother was saying, and I gave him, and I was really not just teaching him, I was trying to teach those others in the barbershop as well, so we can clean up those information, because our people we love trying to hurt each other. We love fear, putting fear and favor in each other, even though there is a time and space for that. But however, if what they don't understand, that Mao Zedong, Toussaint, the Overture, and other great revolutionaries, that they were fighting for land. That they were fighting over land. If you're not ready to take over land, as you state about strategy with Deion Sanders and strategies with others, that you're trying to change a culture and a movement that billionaires control. Instead of doing something for yourself, you want to control that. I call it the sick mentality that our people have, with wanting to control someone else's house, wanting to control instead of doing something for themselves. And you have all the control, and you can make it what you want. You can bake your own cake at what time you want. It's like my sons and I tell my sons, what you can and cannot do in this house. But when you get your own house, hey man, you want to walk around eating corn chips and eating just the cereal, eating cereal with your drawers on. You can do that, but you can't do that in my house. You know what I mean? You gotta put some clothes on. You gotta abide by these rules. And they talk revolution, but they don't understand it. And you have a lot of foot soldiers trying to be generals, and when they should not have, be just, the same manipulators that manipulate young men in the streets with the culture and the lifestyle that they have. And they failed at that, and the communities failing at that. And now they want to bring that into politics, and they want to bring that into intellectual proudness, and they want to bring it to everything. So that's is beginning to be a problem in our community since social media can make an idiot seem intelligent.
Yes, sir. The greatest. I said this at Howard University last week. The greatest um, counter crime reduction mechanism or agency should be the education system. I mean, it should be education because Frederick Douglass once said it's hard to make a slave out of an educated person because even if they don't know, they're thinking they should know. So they're going to go get the right information before they start talking and opening their mouth. But if they can get us in opposition to each other, feed us misinformation, and see, this is what I'm absolutely clear of in working with young people. Nobody wants to be a nothing. Nobody wants to leave their mother womb. Um, um, and people don't even recognize they're here. So some of our young people would rather be a criminal because then they're something. At least they make the news than to come into existence and live their entire life and nobody recognize them as even existing. So the people who know that, who psychologically profile our young people, give them something that they can be, but it's the wrong something. We have to know that no child leaves the womb of their mother wanting to be insignificant their entire life on the face of the earth. Think
Go
about this
ahead.
before we
Go
talked
ahead.
about this before. The suicide rate among black youth between the ages of 5 and 17 have doubled. How do you get to the age of 5 and decide you don't want to live anymore? Because they want to be something. They want to be recognized. They want to be, even when they say they don't want discipline, they want discipline because even you give them discipline, that means that you recognize that there's something worthy of being disciplined. So what happens is that because others recognize that our children are seeking something, they put things in their head, in their heart, and they turn us against each other.
Go
We
ahead.
have to recognize
Go
that
ahead.
there's no child that leaves their mother womb that don't want to be something or recognized. Everybody, Dr. King gave a speech one time called it the drum major instinct. He said, everybody wants attention. He said, a child's first cry when they leave their mother womb is a bid for attention.
Go
So
ahead.
children say, I'm going to be known for something. I'm either going to be famous or infamous. It's
Go
people who
ahead.
say that since your parents have not given you the attention, I'm going to turn you against this person. If you say this about Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad, you won't get your name in the paper. You're not going to be a nothing anymore. You're going to be, it may only last about a month, but you're going to be a something for something in this life. And people know how to manipulate us into that because we're so busy looking for attention that happens. The young ladies in my class at the college, I consistently say to them, do not become a victim to flattery and gain. Compliments are a nice thing, but compliments should make you get undressed.
Go
You
ahead.
get what I'm saying? And so because they have a desire to be recognized. Nobody wants to be a nothing. People manipulate them. They manipulate young ladies. That's why they call men players because you can't be a player unless you're playing on somebody
Go ahead.
and you're playing on the sisters. So it's easy for them, people who don't feel like they're anything, to be turned into something by saying, I will reward you if you say this about Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. I already know that. So when I see them saying things, I say, this person just want to be significant. They want to be important, and really what they are is impotent.
Go ahead.
They it's kind of spelled the same way, but it's different. And they want to be important.
Go
So
ahead.
they're trying to move from being impotent to important by means of Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad, or by means of Sister Noah, or by some other divisive method. I recognize that, and because we recognize that, even as we try to change them, Brother Minister, we also got to counter them.
Go
You
ahead.
know, I want you to be better, but at the same time, I'm not going to be your victim in that process.
Go ahead.
You feel me?
Come
So
on.
I want you to be better. I don't want you to attack me. But don't think I'm gonna sit here and be your victim. There's some strategy too
Come
that
on.
says, as the old rap group, Black Sheep used to say, you can get with this or you can get with that.
Come
I'm gonna
on.
try to get you. I'm gonna try to get you the best option,
Come
but
on.
I'm not gonna be your victim on the way to making you better.
Go ahead.
That's not required. The messenger didn't require us to be a victim in order to save the lives of our brothers.
Go
He
ahead.
asked us to save the lives of our brothers and sisters, but he didn't ask us to be their sucker.
Come on. Come on. Yes, sir. Well, Dr. Tyrone Powers, I know we all when we have you on, brother, you is such a conversationist that you have a lot of great conversation, and I look forward to us bringing you back. I know we're running down on our time now, and we're looking forward to getting you back soon.
Time goes so fast. Time goes so fast, and I'm always glad when I get your call. Actually, when we talked yesterday about coming on today, we've had a guest in the family that had some family in town. We
Yes,
were
sir.
moving around some stuff tonight so that we could provide for them. But I said I got to get home because Brother Minister invited me on, and I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
take advantage of that. That's why I told you. I said I don't think I can do the video
Yes,
stuff all day.
that's all
But I'm
praises due
glad
to
that I
Allah.
get this opportunity to commune with my brother, as the messenger said, friends in all walks of life, and as Brother Manea brought us together, he didn't bring us together even as he is transitioned for us now to become divided because he's not here anymore.
Go
He
ahead.
put us together to be brothers forever.
And
And you
yes,
started the
indeed.
program tonight. You said, I am your brother. Trust and believe that.
Yes, for sure. Yes, Dr. Powers, thank you very much. I look
Yes,
forward to, as always, a pleasure and grateful to have you on Muhammad Speaks Radio. You've been there. You've been consistent with us through the years. You know us. You know Sister Nora Muhammad. You know the mayor.
yes,
You know all,
yes,
both mayors that have been here, in particular Mayor Vic Karstoffen, who's running for
yes,
re-election. You spoke at his very first men's meeting that he had under his
yes, sir.
leadership, and you know the landscape of Camden and right up that 95. And I look forward to seeing you soon to come on up here,
Yes,
brother, when we celebrating our dear sister Nora Muhammad's first move into the political arena, and maybe we can get on up here and get brother Jamil and those Crow family members to come up here. And I didn't, and I apologize for not acknowledging that great organization there in the city of
yes,
Chicago. Our co-founders, Brother Shahid Muslim, Brother Halif Muhammad, and my dear brother, the late and great Brother Munir Muhammad, and all the wonderful brothers and sisters there, hosts, Brother Mandeen Muhammad, Sister Kim Muhammad, and my dear Brother Jamil Muhammad, and others. A great show they had this past Sunday with our dear brothers, the two brothers that they had on. I say, tune into Crow TV. And Dr. Tyrone Powers, as you have a few minutes, tell them about yourself, where they can contact you at, what you are doing. I know you're doing some amazing things, and we can just talk about the amazing things that you are doing to inspire as well as give information. And you have these last few minutes, my brother.
yes, sir. And I always want to acknowledge Crow too, and Sister Nina, Sister Gina, Sister Brother Jamil, Brother Jamal, Zephyr. So the whole group up there, because you
Yes,
always make you feel welcome when you go there.
that's
It
correct.
inspired me to do what I'm doing. Brother Manir told me, I don't care how tired I get. He said, bro, you warriors are the only get to go out on their shield. You don't have to do this. You in this thing now. You don't get to walk away from it until you can't do it anymore. So
That's
I'm working with young people everywhere. I'm addressing the situation which is dire in Palestine. They keep calling it Gaza, but it's actually Palestine. They're Palestinians. There's no thing as Gazastinians. They're Palestinians, so there has to be Palestine. And what's the genocide that's going on there, what's
mhm.
going on in the Congo, what's going on and in Haiti. Too, we don't have to be experts at everything, but we have to acknowledge the pain that our people are feeling all over this world and that other people are not feeling. We talk so much about Ukraine and Russia, but we seldom continue to mention Palestine and the Congo and Haiti and what's going on in the Dominican Republic and things of that sort, where they're not getting any more aid from this country, even medical aid for people who are sick and suffering disease and injury. All that's been taken away. So I try to keep that at the forefront of the young people and the grown folks, the people I'm in positions of power when I speak to them, and I'm trying to do those things. You can always reach me at powers at tpowersconsulting.com, or you can always reach me through Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad.
Yes, Brother Dr. Powers, thank you very much. And my dear brothers and sisters, that's our brother, Dr. Tyrone Powers, out of the great city of Baltimore and state of Maryland, doing and making an impact in and around this country, in the world for that fact. And, these are some of the people that we bring on this particular radio program. And that's why, in order to try to disgrace your brother, as I said and I stated earlier, you need a ladder up to heaven, up to Master Farad Muhammad. You better go there, because that's where I'm going and that's who I'm trying to please. And that is our patron. And I say to you all, on behalf of myself and Dr. Tyrone Powers, as we always say, love your black self, love your black kind. I greet you as I came to you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
That this word will be multiplied into their hearts. Yes, sir. To cover the 30 or more million people of ours. Yes, sir. Here in America. Yes, sir. We are happy to say to them that listen, for those few minutes, that we are your brother and your sister. And that we want you in a circle of safety from a Savior that is willing to save you and me. Thank the Master Farad Muhammad, Almighty God, for coming to save you and me. And the word that you have heard of him, please take them to heart. Go forth wherever you may go and tell others of your kind that the Savior have arrived.